What's going on, beautiful people? I am your host, Lady Miz, and you are tuned in to Talk Therapy, where conversation is the cure. Today, I'm going to be talking about something very, very deep: healing from childhood sexual abuse. Yes, we are breaking the cycle of silence, shame, and confusion. Today's episode is heavy. It may even be triggering for some, but it is necessary. I'm talking about children who were touched inappropriately, children who didn't fully understand what was happening, children who may have felt confused, ashamed, scared, or even physically stimulated without knowing what that meant. And that confusion can follow them for years. This is not a judgment conversation. This is a healing conversation. And I want you to know that this is a space where we unpack real life, real pain, real healing, and solutions. Before we begin, I want to say something important. Please take care of yourself while listening to this. This is not a sensational episode. It's not about blame. It's not about shame. It's about understanding how trauma impacts the mind and how healing is possible. Now let's get into it.
This is Talk Therapy with Lady Miss, where conversation is the cure. That's how we live.
I want to first start off by talking about the confusion of childhood trauma. When a child is touched inappropriately, several psychological layers begin forming at once. A child may not understand what's happening. They may feel fear and confusion, experience physical sensation without understanding it. They might even feel shame for something that they didn't initiate. And here's something people don't talk about enough. The body can respond physically even when the mind feels unsafe. That response does not equal consent. It does not equal desire. But for a child, that difference is not clear, and confusion becomes conditioning. Abuse teaches harmful lessons. It teaches that love equals secrecy, attention equals validation, and power equals control, and boundaries don't matter. Some children grow up feeling powerless, and sometimes, not always, but sometimes trauma can manifest in harmful ways later if it goes untreated. Let me be very, very clear. Most survivors do not become abusers. Most. But untreated trauma can lead to hypersexual behavior, compulsive behavior, boundary confusion, emotional dysregulation, shame-driven secrecy, risk-taking. Trauma can distort the way intimacy and control are understood. That doesn't excuse harmful behavior, but it explains the psychological pattern. I also need to say this very, very clearly. If someone harms someone else, even if they were harmed, there can be legal consequences. Trauma explains behavior. It does not remove responsibility. There could be legal consequences because, see, trauma, it explains behavior, but it does not remove responsibility. That's why early intervention matters, because what is not healed can spill out into other people's lives. And cycles continue unless someone chooses to interrupt. Before I move on, I want to pause right here. If you value conversations like this, conversations that don't avoid difficult topics but approach them responsibly, make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel, hit the like button, and comment to let me know that you are here. And give me your feedback if you have any, because I know a lot of people, this is a touchy topic. Not everybody wants to expose what they've been through, but sometimes a lot of people been through these things themselves, and they know other people who have as well. And we need to let them know that they're going to be okay, and it's okay to get help, because healing is possible if you put in the work. This platform, it exists to break cycles through awareness and solution-based dialogue. That's what talk therapy is about. And I'm hoping that this conversation could become the cure for you. All right, let's get back to it.
You're now tuned in to From the Ground Up Productions. And you're listening to Talk Therapy with Lady Miz. Broadcasting around the world.
Now, what I want to talk about here is the long-term effects. Childhood sexual trauma can impact someone emotionally. Childhood trauma can definitely impact someone. When we're talking about on an emotional level, it's chronic shame, anxiety, depression, self-blame. It can also affect you physically. Sleep disruption. You can have difficulties trusting people, fear of intimacy, over-sexualizing, or even avoidance. It can also affect things that has to do with your identity, like confusion around boundaries, confusion around sexuality, confusion around consent, confusion about who and what you like. When trauma happens early, it embeds itself into development. And without help, that embedded confusion can shape adulthood. I want to talk to you about how to begin healing, because this part is the main part that you really need to move forward. Healing is possible, but it is not overnight. It takes time and effort to put in to get over things and to move on. You can look for trained therapists that are trained in dealing with trauma and get the therapy that you need. You need to remove shame from your story. The abuse was not your fault. Your body responses was not your fault. Shame keeps trauma active. Learn boundaries. Healthy intimacy must be relearned if it was distorted early. If you notice unhealthy patterns forming, get help before harm happens. And I know a lot of people don't like to hear this part, but the truth of the matter is, sometimes hurt people hurt people. Isolation, all that does is just strengthens the trauma. So isolating yourself is not going to help, but safe community can weaken that trauma. Healing takes time, but it is absolutely possible. Right now, let's talk about breaking the cycle. See, cycles stop when someone says, this happened to me, but it does not get to define what I become. Healing requires honesty, professional support, accountability, and patience. See, trauma may rewire the brain, but healing can rewrite it back. If you were touched inappropriately as a child, if you are struggling because of it, you are not broken. If you are dealing with the urge, confusion, or patterns that scare you, please get help now, not later. And if you are a parent listening, please teach your children about consent, safe touching when something is not right or inappropriate, open communication. Everyone should know that silence protects abuse. Anybody who is experiencing a mental health crisis, emotional distress, substance use crisis, or thoughts of suicide, you can dial 988 right now and get the help that you need. If this episode was helpful, please share it responsibly and subscribe so that we could continue to have healing conversations like this. Until next time, what happened to you is not your identity. And healing is your power. This is Lady Miz with Talk Therapy, where conversation is the cure, and I will see you guys next week. Hey, it's your girl Lady Miz, and this is From the Ground Up Productions. We're not just a show, we're a movement. Under our brand, we have The Creator's Box, Talk Therapy, and The Imperfect Marriage. Real conversations, real people, real stories that inspire, heal, and entertain. Tune in, subscribe, and be a part of the growth, because there's only one way to go from here, and that's up. Visit www.ladymiz.com to watch, listen, or contact us today if you want to get involved.
Do you want to promote your business or brand on one of our shows? From the Ground Up Productions is now accepting sponsors and advertisers. Get your message in front of a powerful audience through the Creators Box, Talk Therapy, and the Imperfect Marriage. Let's build together and grow your reach while supporting independent media. Visit LadyMiz.com and send us a message to learn how you can sponsor our show today.